In this video, I'll be repairing my JBL 104BT speaker as the spring terminal on the back no longer holds tension, which is causing the left speaker to not produce sound.
Now you should be hearing the sound from only the right speaker.
The reason for this is because a piece inside the spring terminal has broken, so the wire's connection is loose, unstable, or incomplete. First, we'll need to remove the mesh grill on the front. Very gently work a thin, mini flathead screwdriver in between the grill and the housing, and pry the mesh upward all the way around the front of the speaker. Then carefully lift the grill off. Next, we'll remove the plastic shields concealing the screws inside. It may help to gently heat them first to soften the adhesive underneath. Once you have one side up, you can slowly and carefully peel the shield up and off the housing. There are two pieces, one below and one above the driver. There are 5 screws in the lower section and 3 in the top. Now we'll need to remove the rubber foot on the bottom of the speaker. Using a plastic spudger, work one side of the foot up, then gently peel the rest of it off. This is necessary because the speaker housing will separate into 2 halves. Now, with a Phillips head screwdriver, loosen the 8 screws that were hidden behind the plastic shields we removed earlier. Now the 2 halves of the speaker should separate. Just be careful as there are some connected cables inside running between the 2 halves. In the back half of the speaker, you'll see the main board, and on here you should disconnect the power connector on the right by squeezing its release tab and pulling straight up. You'll also need to disconnect the wire harness on the left-hand side, and I'm using a flathead screwdriver here to help lift it out. Now we'll remove the 4 Phillips head screws securing the board, 1 in each corner. Then carefully lift the board out. For this next part, take out the 8 screws around the perimeter of the board, including the one for the ground cable. Don't forget this hidden one here. Then gently lift the board and move it off to the side. And now you should be able to see the back side of the spring terminals. There are 2 screws holding it in place that you should be able to access now, and removing them will allow you to take it out of the housing. The problem for both these terminals is that the catches that hold them in position have worn out or broken, so that the back part of the clip no longer remains in the elevated position. This prevents the clips from putting tension on the spring, so the audio cables are loose or not completing the connection. The first thing I did was press the terminal clip to raise the back bar into position. Then with the flathead screwdriver, I bent the exposed metal tails of the clip under it to hold it in place. I did this on both sides. Note that this is not sufficient as a permanent fix, as pressing on the clips could dislodge them again. But you can see here how the exterior clip is supposed to look and function. To permanently fix the bars in this position, I've cut small lengths of a toothpick to fit the width of the window, and stacked 2 of them together under the back bar of the clip. Then I superglued these in place so that the bars cannot fall back down. Now we can reassemble the speaker by first replacing the terminals and securing them with their 2 screws. Then reinstalling the large PCB with its 8 screws, ensuring the exterior I/O lines up with their cutouts in the housing. Remember to reattach the ground cable on this board. Now reinstall the power board with its 4 screws. Reseat the connectors on the left and right hand sides. Carefully close the 2 halves, making sure none of the wires are pinched, and replace the 8 screws that secure the 2 halves. Line up and replace the 2 adhesive back to covers. Then gently press the metal grill back in, pressing down firmly all around the edge. Lastly, when replacing the rubber foot, note the alignment notch on one side of the rubber pad, as it should line up perfectly with a small tab at the back of the speaker. And that's pretty much it. Now the clips feel springy and tight, so when the bare wire cables are put in, they bite down on them firmly and don't feel loose. And now the final test.
Right now you should be hearing the sound from only the left speaker. Now you should be hearing the sound from only the right speaker. In this part of the track, you should be hearing the sound from both speakers.
Both speakers are working perfectly again. I hope you enjoyed this repair video. If you have any questions, you can ask me in the comments. I'll put links to the products in this video in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and join me next time.